You know what's funny? I just made a video earlier today talking about why the Buffalo Bills should trade Stefon Diggs after this whole crap right here, where RG3 said pretty much, is Stefon Diggs essential to Josh Allen's success? Somebody responded, does Josh Allen benefit from having a top tier receiver? Yes. Is he essential to his success? No. Stefon Diggs said, you sure? Meaning that without Stefon Diggs, he's claiming that, Stefon Diggs claiming without him, Josh Allen would not be successful, right? And at the end of the day, listen, having a top receiver will always make you better. It's just a fact of the matter is, a receiver does elevate a quarterback's play to some degree. Doesn't mean that 100% without the receiver, the quarterback wouldn't be good, but at some point, you gotta admit that it does help out a lot. Without, Megatron for the longest time, Matthew Stafford, I think he'd still be a great quarterback, and he is still a great quarterback, but he wouldn't have had put up as many numbers and probably got as many wins without Megatron. At the end of the day, while yes, there is a truth to this, to a certain degree, I think, again, 100% without Stefon Diggs, Josh Allen would still be a top 5 quarterback. Maybe, he would have to deal with the fact he wouldn't put up as many stats and numbers, but he would still be a top 5 quarterback. Josh Allen is still amazing with or without Stefon Diggs. Nonetheless, though, there's a principle and a point of respect where you don't publicly trash your quarterback, no matter who you are, no matter what the situation is. And this right here is just completely disrespectful. It's completely nonsense, and you don't do that to your quarterback. That's just a point of, respect you have between two players. So I said earlier that they need to trade him. They need to get him out of town. After this tweet, you cannot have him on your team. And you know what? Of the Bills saw my video this morning and said, you know what, I agree with you, Fantasy Truck Stop. He needs to get his ass out of town. It's because they traded him. Traded him to the Houston Texans. And I have two things here, right? Number one, okay, you're giving him to a rookie quarterback. Well, not a rookie, but a sophomore quarterback now, coming off a rookie season. Why the Texans? And what I mean by that is, bro, the Texans are already too damn good. The Texans just got so many damn pieces this offseason. They're easily going to be one of the best teams in the league next year. And now you just gave them, and again, outside of his antics, he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Like, again, personally speaking, I do not like how he acts. I think he acts like a 3-year-old child, and he's really just reckless. But you can't take away from his skill. He is still a top 5 receiver. So, the Texans just got like 1,000 times better. They're going to have to deal with the mental head case he is, but as long as they can deal with that and they can just say, whatever, move on, I don't care, and CJ Stroud can just sit there and say, all right, whatever, Diggs, yeah, man, I suck without you, bro. This is going to just elevate them 1,000 times. Because now you got him, you got Nico Collins, like Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. Like, you have, this offense just got 1,000 times better. And they're going to even get better in this upcoming draft. I know they traded away their first round draft pick to the Vikings, but it doesn't matter. Like, this team, the Texans are already amazing, and now they just got more amazing. And this trade was really more or less based on another thing. Okay, again, and I'm not an expert here. It seems like a desperate trade. They got a 2nd round pick, the Bills did. And it says for Diggs, a 6th, and a 5th. Actually, never mind. It doesn't sound like a desperate trade at all. Never mind. Okay. When I first read this, I thought it was different. So, a 6th round pick and a 5th round pick, and for Diggs. I don't know, though, because I feel like, okay, listen, if Diggs wasn't a mental head case right now, right, and trashing your star quarterback, I feel like you could at least get, you're not going to get a Tyreek Hill trade for Diggs. You're not going to get 5 picks. But I feel like you could at least get 2 seconds. Maybe not. Maybe a 2nd and 3rd. I feel like you could probably get a 2nd and 3rd for Diggs. And I don't know, because a second round pick, right? But giving up a fifth and a sixth is the equivalent of just getting a third or fourth round pick. It's the equivalent of getting a third round pick. All right, getting a second, but then trading away a sixth and a fifth. You're pretty much just getting a third round pick for him, which I guess is not too bad. A lot of times I overvalue wide receivers way too much. I do it with T. Higgins all the time, actually. But at the end of the day, you're pretty much giving up a third round pick for him. For the Texans side, it's actually a really great trade. It really is. If you can just deal with his mental head case game and deal with him trash talking and bitching and complaining, whatever. I mean, you get a guy for equivalent of a third round pick. That's not really that bad. And if you're the Bills side here, you kind of just move on from all this blah, 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 trash talking stuff. You're most likely now taking a wide receiver with the first round pick. You might trade up you might use this to trade up in the first round to get a receiver, because now you're going to have to get somebody because you lost Gabe Davis this offseason, So if you're the Bills, you're kind of in a weird spot right now. And also, this is going to cause a lot of controversy if Josh Allen doesn't have a fantastic season this year. And let's say he really, just has awful year. Stefon Diggs is going to be nonstop complaining and yelling on social media about, oh, I told you. Like, it's going to be crazy. But if the opposite happens and, Josh Allen has like an MVP year, that's going to be funny. So that's going to be an interesting situation here. So if you're the Bills, I mean, Justin Shorter, Shakir, Curtis Samuel. You picked up Curtis Samuel this offseason, but he's a slot receiver. You need two outside receivers, and you have a young guy, Matt Collins, the old Raider / Falcon. Andy Isabella, that's a nothing burger. Yeah, I mean, the Bills right now, they don't really have a receiving core. Their receiving core is decimated. And there's not really any I mean, they're actually, surprisingly enough, there's actually a lot of receivers in free agency. I looked at it the other day. There is, wow. Let me just do that. Hang on. So, free agent tracker. There we go. So, there is, receivers in free agency. If you're the Bills right now, I don't see how you don't call up Tyler Boyd and see what Tyler Boyd is interested in doing. Because you got Hunter Renfrow, Odell Beckham, which I thought he signed with the Miami Dolphins. Michael Gallup, I mean, I know he's not that developed, but get an outside guy. Michael Thomas, slot guy. MVS, he is a, deep threat type of guy. DJ Chark, another deep threat type of guy. There are options available in free agency if you're like, hey, listen, we just lost Stefon Diggs. We want to get somebody else. I haven't looked at their cap room yet and seeing how their cap room looks like, but after trading away Stefon Diggs, I had to guess your cap room is somewhat okay. So, $7.6 million this year, $44,000 next year. But you just traded away Stefon Diggs. And cap savings 2, 3. Oh, wow. Trading him away just went ahead and cost them $28 million. Okay, so it saves money next year. But they lose $3 million this year. Because of this trade. And let me see this. Hold up. So they're going to have to pay Stefon Diggs, the Bills-wise, all this money, the $36.9 million. Well, not 36.9. 36.9 minus 18, which is 18 million. Ron, they have to pay him 18 million for the next 3 years, next 4 years, because that's his prorated bonus. It's his signing bonus split up. They have to pay that much money, and then that means for the Texans here, they only have to pay him this year. They're going to pay him $22.3 million. Next year they're going to be paying him $22 million. The year after that they're going to be paying $23 million, and then the year after that they're going to be paying $21 million. So they're pretty much getting a number one receiver for like the next 4 years at like $21-22 million a year, which is not really that horrendous at all. So listen, shout out to the Texans. Good luck. You got yourself a 31-year-old receiver who bitches and cries like a little baby. I mean, that's pretty much all there is. Peace out, guys.